Owen, I'm going to give you a mic, but you got to help Brendan talk into your mic when Brendan talks. Check.
This dude's beyond help. Are you kidding me?
Well, we already knew that from the day one.
Share this mic with me, Brendan. Share my mic.
Now remember, if you feel something tap you on the head, that means drop your job.
Billy, how often have you used that line?
Oh man, that usually requires jewelry.
Jewelry?
Don't judge me.
Jewelry? Did someone say jewelry?
Jew ovaries. How many Jews have you used that line on?
Just you.
Yep.
Fair.
You're my only Hebrew.
Wait, what about me?
You're only half Hebrew.
All right.
Still counts. My mom is. I'm a fully.
I don't think that I'm going to be able to fit in the frame, so I'm just going to sit here
Is anyone watching?
and read views, read
No
comments.
one.
I just started
Rod.
it. I just started it.
Hashtag Lester on this shit.
All
That'll bring a crowd.
right, so let's try to figure out what we're going to talk about here. Yeah, that's my dick, Brendan. They wanted me to draw a diagram of it.
He has a flap.
Yeah.
Hey, let's be
not a
careful
wart.
though, because I don't want that to be the reason why we got cut off with our last
Oh, yeah.
live stream. Yeah.
I was the reason guys got cut off a lot.
Stop talking flap, all right?
My bad.
Yeah.
Hey, can we not
I have
say
a flap,
cut
too.
off while we're talking about dicks?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear me?
No.
I said I have a flap too.
Of course you would. All right, so we're 5 comedians that we're just going to be talking about life. So maybe I'm just going to throw out some topics for you and see what we come up with.
Well, this would be a great time for that story time idea. That story time idea I was thinking about doing for the broadcast. It was like, okay, tell me a story about fill in the blank.
Tell me a story about fill in the blank.
Oh,
How,
Genius idea.
how did you get that blank filled? I would like to know.
Are we just improving Mad Libs? Is that what we're doing?
No, it's not. It's kind of like,
Yeah, give him an adverb.
I think he wants the audience to fill in blank, and we'll tell a story about it.
pretty much something like that, yeah.
I'm very smart.
All right, Owen, let me ask you a question.
Well, can I just ask Allison, when was the last time you had your blank filled?
Fill in the blank.
My beer was just filled about 2 minutes ago to this kind bartender. Thank
Sorry,
you.
what was your question?
Well, I wanted to talk about life, but Rot wants us to bring up drugs. I don't know. So
Typecasting.
Hold on.
That's
hold on.
typecasting,
Before I
sir.
answer any of this,
Like the cocaine
No,
or
don't
like
pull them out. We're
I'm
inside
gonna ask.
the bar.
I'm gonna ask each one of you what your first drug was. Owen, what was your first drug?
I mean, like sometime in high school, like, I don't know. Some sort of an Adderall.
Adderall.
Yeah.
What about you, Brendan? What was your first drug you ever took?
I don't know, probably cough syrup when I was like a little kid or some shit. You know.
Oh, because you weren't sick. You were just trying to get fucked up.
No, what am I, a mumble rapper?
Oh, the lean. You weren't just trying to.
I was doing
Yeah, he was doing lean. That explains it.
just prescription stuff.
Allison.
Get a boo-boo and take some Tylenol. And
All right, moving forward. Allison, what was the first drug you ever did?
well, if marijuana doesn't count.
Where marijuana counts.
Oh, well then it was when I was sold oregano and smoked it like it was marijuana.
And then immediately regretted it.
Oh,
So
I
that was
sure
your
did.
first spice. I want to know what was the answer if marijuana doesn't count. Like you started a preference.
Mushrooms.
Nice.
So marijuana, mushrooms, cool. And you were
But
not
I've never done anything else. I've never done the coke,
nice.
I've never done-
Never done the meth.
the meth,
Never done the hair.
never done the acid. What's that?
Heroin.
No, God, no.
Done the Molly.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
I
found
did
one.
do the Molly
I found one.
Yeah.
I think most of us
I made
have
a-
done a Molly. Am I right?
It didn't work out that well.
He's not high.
Sorry, Brendan.
By the way, Joe, for like a second, I thought you were asking her if she's ever done her hair, and that was rude.
James on the TV.
Rude.
Billy, what is the
Wait,
first
does my
drug
hair
you've
look
ever
bad?
done?
Well, outside of pot, mushrooms would probably been the first one.
Okay, so you're another one, pot and then mushrooms.
Then
Nice.
what?
Cocaine.
The Coke.
Then Coke, yeah, of course, naturally. That's a more appropriate order right there.
A lot of people do Coke.
And-
I had to work my way up.
I'm
you know.
just gonna guess, similar to Brendan, just a literal medication.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not including alcohol, yeah.
Oh yeah. So how old were you when you had your first drink, James?
First sip or like first real drink?
First real drink.
First real drink, I was 15.
Nice. Billy, what is your favorite drug of those three that you've done? Pot, mushrooms, and Coke.
Oh, definitely pot. But, you know, I don't really consider it a drug. So, I mean, like, if you,
How old was your first drink?
I come from an Irish family, so 12.
12. Okay, that's a good age. Allison, how old were you when you had your first real good drink?
12.
12. Brendan?
Right now? I was getting 21.
Oh, Kids Sap comedy history, though.
Brendan just popped his cherry with Owen.
Yeah, he also dribbled like Joe. Jesus.
Yeah. Dripping everywhere, I see.
21.
21. You waited
'cause
till the
Brendan didn't
legal
have a
age.
handle.
Nice.
It's because Brendan didn't have a handle, that's why he dribbled it away.
A picnic handle?
Yeah. Owen, how old were you when you had your first drink?
So we're talking like real drinks, not sips, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Billy, I Irish Jewish family, so
Yeah, you were
about
sorry.
12, yeah.
Cool. My first drug was mercury. Yeah. And it wasn't really a drug, so to speak, as it was that I just found some mercury in the kitchen cabinet as a kid and poured it into my hand and was intrigued by the physics and quantum mechanics of the mercury. And I played with it for days upon days.
What?
And then I got mercury poisoning, and these really trippy hallucinations occurred shortly after.
What the fuck were your parents cooking that they had just mercury
Right?
lying around in the kitchen?
They had it in a
No, I'm like
9mm film canister, so I think they like broke it out of something.
Okay, this story
I
is getting
figured
creepier
like
and
a
creepier.
broken thermometer or something, you know,
Wait,
back
is
in
this
the-
is this a true story?
True. Very true.
They had like the
Yeah.
I was like 12.
He's told this story before, actually.
What did you hallucinate?
The hallucination was I would go to bed at night and I'd lay down and try to go to sleep, and I would stare at the white wall and a red rectangle would appear. And that red rectangle would beat at the same pace as my heartbeat. And it got bigger. The rectangle got bigger, and as the rectangle got bigger, all the loud noises that I heard that day were all being replayed back in my head at once. So like my name being said by a bunch of different people, everything I heard on the TV that day, arcade games from the BNI, all being played back at once, super loud in my head, and the walls were coming from the sides, in and out, like the walls were breathing.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, no shit. Brendan's like, that's my medication. What are you?
I'm just thinking,
Nice,
we're live
Brendan.
on Facebook
That's
right
Brendan's-
now, and we just taught a bunch of kids how to get high on mercury.
Whatever, they have Tide Pods these
But-
days. They're good.
Yeah.
It just seeped through my skin and into my system, and now it's probably in the bottom of my spinal cord. But yeah, that shit fucked me up, and I didn't know what it was, and it was freaking me out. My parents were tweakers, so they didn't give a fuck. So then I went to the school counselor in 5th grade, and I was like, "Hey, this thing's happening to me," and I explained to him everything, and the counselor said, "Oh, you're probably just going through puberty." For a long time, I thought puberty was just really intense.
I think the tweaker comment there confirmed what exactly it was your parents were cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have said that the first time you asked.
I got a hallucinogenic story. Well, it was more like this weird ass dream when I was a little kid, and then I tried it in real life. So I had this dream. I must have been like 5 or something like that. But I went upstairs like that, like you're heading up to the restroom and shit like that. And we got the wall of like pictures and stuff like that. I yelled at the wall, and then the wall grew a face and it yelled back at me. So this was the dream I had. So then the next morning I woke up and obviously I yelled at the wall. The wall didn't yell back. This is a true story. I'm not making this shit up.
Nice. Thank you for that, Brendan. Moving on. I have a question for you guys that has been suggested in the feed. Let's talk, since you're all comedians, let's talk about shortly your favorite show to date that you've been on. James?
My favorite show that I've been booked on?
Yeah.
Let's see. Probably the Triple X comedy show that we did at Dog Days.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I just love that we're all there bringing our dirtiest material to like a sea of ugly sweaters.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
my
pretty
favorite
cool.
part about it.
Not,
Everyone's
not
like,
gonna lie, the triple X part of that comment was deceptively exciting for me. I was like, you were at a porn comedy show?
So I get down there, and I unbutton her pants, and I unzip them. And at this point in my life, I have realized something critical, something crucial. I realized something that changed the way I saw the world. I have realized that porn has lied to me, because I have never once seen in a porn or a movie where he has issues taking her jeans off at her thighs, knees, and ankles.
Just show off, just to play.
You're just telling jokes while Sasha Grey is getting railed behind you.
That would be actually a pretty cool show. Yeah, I might have
Agreed.
to
I would like to
line that
help
up.
you set up that show.
They got a big projector screen right
Yeah,
here at
we do.
LoveCraft. That could be cool.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
50 Shades of Sasha Grey.
Ron Jeremy with fucking, yeah, that'd be rad. Anyway, Billy Campbell, tell us about your favorite show of all time.
I think it was one of the locals only shows that we did. I went on stage and I didn't bomb, but I didn't do a lot of the jokes that I wanted to do. So like any comedian, I'm kicking myself in the ass as I'm getting off stage. I was feeling really down, and this sweet little blonde girl walked up to me and she said, "Excuse me, sir, you are my favorite comedian tonight."
I remember that one.
And she handed me a little picture of a drawing that she drew of me while I was on stage. It was just a little stick figure with a poof ball on the top of its head.
All right, everybody, let's keep that round of applause going for your next comedian, Billy Campbell.
You know, Johnny D, if you masturbate half as much as you said you did, I wish you'd washed your hands before you touched the mic. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. Oh, I got married this summer. That's okay. She's not very excited about it either. No, it's kind of great. I have 3 teenage daughters now. Yeah, I know, man. I'm as silent about it as you guys are. I signed my death warrant a while ago. See, when my mom said that I hope you end up with 3 kids that act just like you, I thought she meant boys. And then I remembered that I color coordinate, paint my nails, and I really love shoes. I was like, dude, I want to buy you all the ice cream in the world right now. Like, all of it.
I think he still has that like on his fridge or some shit.
Yeah, I still have it on my wall at
Oh,
home.
I was joking, but like, yeah. Oh.
And again, I have to ask Billy, how often have you used that line? I want to buy you all the ice cream.
So, Allison, tell us about your favorite show of all time. Oh, by the way, Billy, I hired her to lie to you.
Aw.
Yeah, sorry,
That's a
I forgot to
bummer.
tell you that. I'm kidding, that was
I
a
was
joke.
going to say, how,
Jesus Christ, this you
So
know.
mean to break his
no, see,
spirit like that.
the mean part would have been as if he paid a cheap price.
Yeah, a
I
beer.
think-
It
I
was a
think
beer. It was a
Based
dog
on
beer.
based on this, I gotta say that Joe actually drew the stick figure too.
Nope, I did not. Anyway, Allison, tell us about your favorite show of all time to date.
Well, that's easy. It was my very first one because I was so in shock that, like, you actually asked me to be in a show that it was fucking amazing because I started comedy 6 months ago, did maybe 3 or 4 open mics, and then Joe invited me to be on a show, and I was like, I'm in a fucking show. Thanks, Lori. Hi, guys. There's a lot of you here. I'm Allison Rose. I recently learned tonight that there's another Allison Rose in Denver who's way funnier than me. So I'm like, fuck. I'm gonna have to change my name to like Allison Knows to like represent my Jewish ancestry. He even paid me $5, and I was like, what the fuck?
Fuck yeah, bro.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, it's always a
So
good feeling to
bonafide.
get paid to do comedy, even if it's just $5. It's better than a beer, for sure.
Yeah, and I think honestly, like most of us in KidSap have gotten our first paid gig because of Joe. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, my first paid gig was from Miss My My. It was my third time ever going on stage.
Yeah. Yeah, I said most of us. My is also a huge fucking
And
supporter.
she paid me $60, Joe.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Ms.
damn.
My, she's also the shit. She's
Shots
amazing.
fired. Yeah, here's the difference, Billy. She has a budget.
Brendan?
Tell us about your favorite show all the time.
Wasn't really like a show, but whether we got two microphones in my hand, like one's a dick. But it was like an open mic. We did that. I did an open mic with Brock Toronto and a couple of the other Tacoma comedians at like a Boxing Lady cafe in Tacoma, basically like a bikini barista place. Brock messaged me, he's like, "Hey, you want to do an open mic at a bikini barista place?" I'm like, me telling jokes with a bunch of hot chicks wearing barely any clothing? Fuck yeah, I am there. It was a good show. I crushed my set, and then I did like 60, like going down the thing because I really had to take a piss. And I rail
Don't
slipped.
forget that detail.
I did a rail. I was gonna go to McDonald's, right? And anywhere else there would have been, right?
Brendan? Go ahead.
Both of our butts are gonna fit on that seat anyway. No, mine's much too large. All right.
Hi, everybody.
Let's go.
Hi, internet. All right, I guess we're going now. So, yeah. Hi. My name's Brendan, and I'm a comedian.
Hey, tell them to make a fucking noise.
Make a fucking noise.
Tell them to make
Yeah!
Cool. So I don't have to pull out the sound effect app. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, my name's Brendan Graham, and in there, but I went like right down the median about 60 miles an hour. Got pulled up by the cop immediately.
Did he let you go pee, though?
I broke my skid plate, put a hole
I remember
in my oil
when that
pan,
happened.
and I'm pretty sure that's where I fucked up my oil pump. Where I hope the guy that bought my car years ago was watching this, so I can tell him the story.
A lot of these just sound like euphemisms for me. He's like, I got pulled up by the cop and he broke my oil pan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so yeah, it makes sense that Brendan's favorite show is at a coffee club that had slim dressed bikinis and booties everywhere.
It's probably the most naked he's ever seen a woman in his life.
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah. Well, you can't creep
Not
out.
true.
You can't creep out a bikini barista.
We
That's-
already bonded over doing a molly, all right?
Yeah.
No,
right.
you did them all. I tried to, and then she broke up.
Owen
And
Eardley,
that
tell
way
us
it
that-
didn't last very long, but that's
Thank you,
another story.
Brendan. I appreciate it. Moving on.
What part of your car broke during that? Sorry, no bad joke.
Hey, am I right?
Hey! Hey!
All right. Owen Eardley, tell us about your favorite show all time.
We used to the High Fidelity Lounge back when it was the old like scuzzy
Yeah, piece of
punk
shit hole in the
rock
wall.
past a sheet hole in the wall. Yeah,
Yeah.
High Fidelity Lounge. I love doing that because it was supposed to be a music open mic, and like 5 to 7 comedians would just crash it. And they would let us, and we would just go insane. I have a recording of me. It's like the only time I've done a 25-minute set. The only reason my set is 25 minutes long is because I kept getting heckled by just one guy.
Nice.
And the guy started responding to his own heckles because I wasn't responding quick enough.
Is that the guy that was on the stage with you?
No.
Oh.
No, not that time. It was a wacky place.
One of my top 10
Yeah.
best sets was at the Hi-Fi at an open mic, music open mic. They threw me in towards the end, and I did a set, and everybody responded so great to it. And it was so cool because no one had ever seen me before. They're there for music.
That's also that was the place I ever did my first roast battle. It was while
That's right.
while Jack Dick was playing Tastes Like Tuna, Smells Like Chicken.
Yes.
In between verses, me and DJ were going back and forth, trading sandwich-based insults.
Nice.
Joseph Rogers, what
Yes.
was your favorite show you've ever done?
Well, the Roxy show was a good show. That was a really cool feeling because it felt so surreal. Like I had a hard time believing that after 7.5 years of doing comedy that it got to that point where I was able to do that show, and during the show it just didn't feel real. It was so crazy. And yeah, so that was a great pinnacle of a show for my production, but for being on stage, it was the dope show a couple months ago at the Tacoma Comedy Club, because there was like 250 people there. None of them have ever seen me before, all fresh ears, and they're there for a dope show, so it's weed, you know, and I didn't tell a single weed joke, but I did. That was my perfect crowd. That was my perfect crowd, and they loved me, so that felt amazing. And that was probably my favorite time up on stage, but yeah.
How about worst heckler?
That's a good one.
What's your worst heckler?
Also, heckler, I barely know her. Sorry, go on.
I think my worst heckler was at Paradise in Seattle. But it wasn't like they were like being overly aggressive. It's just they were just too drunk to realize that I wasn't talking specifically to them. So I'm just sitting there trying to tell my jokes, and they're just like, "Why? What happened? How is it?" Well, if you shut up, I'll tell you the rest of the story.
So did you win against a heckler?
For the most part, like I finished my set, but it wasn't like anything brutal. I haven't had anything too bad.
Okay. How about you, Billy?
I think that Israeli girl.
Yeah, that Israeli girl was
Yeah.
bad.
Oh my God.
Wow, that was such a statement.
Well, no.
She really was from
Oh, you had to be
Israel.
there.
It's
Right
not a
up on
Jew
stage.
thing.
Like, as a person who doesn't know the story, Jesus Christ.
She was
I think it was that Israeli. Am I right?
Well, she'd been heckling everybody that night, and I went on, and I was
No, you weren't.
like, you know what, dude, I'm gonna go on there, and if she starts to heckle me, I'm gonna just roast her. And she started with me, and when I went to roast her, she marched right up on fucking stage. I thought she was gonna punch me.
I remember.
And I was recording from 3 different angles, so I wanted her to punch you.
So
Yeah.
you almost got Shelby Dobsoned?
Almost.
Oh.
It felt like it was going to happen for sure.
Idea. This might sound weird, and this has probably never happened, but do you want to do 3 minutes of comedy? Yeah, you. Okay. Let's see if the.
All right, let's see how this goes, everybody.
I want to keep my shades because I'm a dark person. So I have a dark humor.
Let's see what the heckler has to say.
If you don't,
Talk into the mic.
whatever. So I have a talk for you guys. You guys hear me? Yeah. Okay. So what's the difference between a Jew to a pizza?
No.
A Jew to a pizza. A Jewish person to a pizza. What's the difference?
What is it?
Okay, so a pizza doesn't scream when you put it in the oven.
Oh, that is the worst joke ever.
You got it? Got the Holocaust, motherfuckers. You look like your grandma died. Fucking laugh, Joe.
You don't have to.
You guys stop.
Oh, and she's done already. Dang it.
She was horrible.
Yeah, if it would have happened, we would
Get
have
it?
called it Shelly Dotson. We'd call it getting billied.
Getting Billy, yeah, by the Israeli bitch.
But as we currently know it, Getting Billied is the title of his sex tape.
Oddly enough, would not have been the first woman to punch me.
I believe him.
I mean, that is the appropriate weight class for you to be fighting under.
Yeah, so let's also mention, and Tiffany brought it up too. Let's also mention that Israeli chick. This was my first time doing something I always wanted to do with a heckler that won't shut up. Is give them the mic to do a set, and then heckle the fuck out of them. Yeah. So I gave her I was like, hey, let's get you up here. You want to do a set? And she's like, yeah, sure. She gets up there, and I start heckling her, but she's doing a
She told
No, she told a
the
Jew joke.
most fucked up Jew joke. As a Jew, we're allowed to tell
Right,
fucked up joke.
yeah.
But she told the most fucked up Jew joke I've ever
It was a Holocaust joke. It was a Holocaust joke. That was like a street joke.
I'm going to ask Allison specifically, because she's the only other person here allowed to tell it. What was the joke?
What's the difference between a Jew and
a pizza?
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
It was a street joke. Yeah.
There's actually like a Mexican joke follow-up I'm not allowed to tell, but yeah, I've heard that one.
And then nobody laughed.
Yeah, good.
And then when she said, and then she felt like when nobody laughed that she had to explain the joke.
Yeah.
And then that's when everybody like kind of laughed, I guess you could say. But I put it on YouTube. Go to Comedy and Kits app.
So what you're saying is sometimes explaining the joke does work.
Yes, sometimes it does work. But it was her explaining it because everybody got the joke.
It's
Yeah.
just not a good joke.
Yeah,
So then you
exactly.
explained it 50 million times, and it was just slower and
And then
slower.
I heckled her, and then she said she hoped my grandma dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, "Fuck you, Joe. I hope your grandma dies." I was like, "Holy shit!"
With that exact accent.
Yes,
that
she
exact
was-
accent.
Oh my God, that's so perfect.
No, the best part about that though was like Joe said something about like, it's like, why don't you go suck a dick? And then I wanted to be like, I'm on it.
Yeah, I did not
It
say
was my
that.
birthday, okay?
Anyways, moving forward. Allison, have you experienced a harsh heckler?
Okay, so my experience with hecklers is different because, like I said earlier, for some reason, when I turned 38 and started doing comedy, I realized like I like attention, and so I actually really like hecklers because I'm like, oh, you are so into me. Just give me all of it. No, but it's true. But
Negative
again,
attention's better than no attention.
and I mean, I will say, my only bad heckler was this motherfucker right here.
Owen.
Yeah.
As he walks
And
off.
get over here. You face the camera, fellow Jew. So, I have notes because this is my first time ever doing this. And I'm terrified. So I have a favor to ask you guys, and the favor is that you please laugh at my jokes, even when they're not funny. And this is like a good deed. You'll be doing a good deed because that will ensure that I don't go home with crippling self-hatred and cry myself to sleep. So thank you in advance. Like, you could practice right now, like a fake laugh. Yeah, like that. That was really good, sir. Thank you.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna say it.
It was, I think, maybe my 5th open mic ever. And so I was still like really, really nervous and self-conscious, and I was telling my jokes, and this guy was like on a bunch of drugs, and he was all fucked.
I was hoping you left the explanation part out. I was gonna respond.
And,
all the way under the bus.
every joke that I told, he would repeat the punchline. But I didn't know him, so if he did that now, I'd be like, fuck you, dude. But at the time, I was like, this fucking asshole is like making fun of all my jokes, and like, anyway.
I was genuinely enjoying all of her bits, by the way.
Whoa.
Wow. Also her jokes. But no,
love
I
the
was.
lady
It's like when somebody at the movie theater like yells out a line they really liked in the movie. I definitely worded that a different way the first time I explained it to you, but yeah, I was just having a good time listening to your bits while rolling on some. I don't even know what I bought.
Owen, stop saying bits.
You gotta stop the bits. But anyway, had I known you, if I knew you like I know you now, I would have appreciated. I'd be like, oh, he's like repeating my punchlines because he thinks they're funny. But at the moment, I thought you were like making fun of them. He'd be like, the dumpster.
Who would make fun of your
I
bits,
genuinely, I don't understand why people don't yell the dumpster at you more often.
Put that shit on a t-shirt and sell it.
All right.
I mean, I did walk into Winco once with my dad, and this lady came up to me and she was like, "You're the dumpster girl."
That's
It's
when you know
finally
you've made
happening.
it.
Okay, next.
Next, Owen. Skipping Brendan.
I really haven't had that many hecklers, to be honest.
He doesn't have any heckler stories.
I think I've had like 2.
Oh.
My best one was probably like a.
Remember when your mom heckled you?
Oh yeah, my mom.
You just upped it to 3.
Yeah.
I would like to hear about the mom one.
Shit. Are we talking about the time she called me during the middle of my set? Like that, and I'm like,
Yeah,
tell me a
yeah,
joke. I don't have anything funny to say, and then I can't remember what exactly.
And then she was talking shit. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she just said, "We know."
You answered your phone in the middle of a set?
Well, my mom calls me, it's like the important time. She's like, where are you at?
Well,
Look,
fuck, Mom,
Billy,
calls,
if
man.
it's
You gotta
ringing,
answer, I
it's
guess, right?
ringing.
Yeah, exactly, and I was like, fuck, I don't have any more jokes, so let's just roll with this shit because I'm the king of improvising.
Sure. I think my favorite is like most other comedians, they're answering somebody in the audience's phone during a set. Like you're literally the only person.
Have you ever had a bad heckler though, Owen?
Not really. Like I'm usually friends with most of my hecklers at the end of the day.
Actually, take that back. Right?
Yeah. It might be. Yeah, I usually like my hecklers. We usually actually become pretty good friends if they're repeat offenders. I think it's just like people that beat me up at parties when I'm not doing a set who don't get that I'm joking.
Allison, we got to make up a story of you fucking a heckler.
Wait, say that again?
We got to make up a funny story of you fucking a heckler.
Or you
According
could
to
just
who?
do that,
Like a funny comedy bit.
I mean, I'd fuck that Israeli chick. She almost did. She
Nice.
Yeah, in the bathroom, I went up to her afterwards because I felt bad for her because I like hecklers, as I said. And I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, like, are you okay?" And I was like, "Also, you're from Israel. I'm a Jew too." And she was like, "You're Jew?" And I was like, that was a Russian accent. She didn't say it in a Russian accent. I don't know the Israeli accent.
She was half Russian, I think.
Can we start?
Anyway, basically, she grabbed my face and was like, "I love you, Jew." And I was like, I mean, neat. Okay. And then she told me her whole life story, and then she invited me into the bathroom with her, and I declined because I was in a relationship at the time. But.
Can we get hashtag Me Jew trending off of this story?
What would be the first post? Hashtag Me Jew. What would be the first post?
Moses.
Yeah, we'll have to think on that one. That's a good one.
I mean, I feel like I fucked a Jew. Hashtag Me Jew. It's very simple. It's very simple.
What's your
Anytime
worst
you fuck a
heckler?
Jew.
You fucked a Jew heckler.
What's your worst heckler, Joe?
Worst heckler. There was one. I did a show in Port Angeles at the Red Lion Hotel, and I was doing a show in front of a big wood company. Yeah.
I mean,
it was a mix of management and employees, and there was like 300 people there, and the employees loved my jokes, but the management and the CEO of the big company did not like my jokes, and he looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's the funniest part.
And so I was told originally when I got booked on this show that to be clean, but then days leading up to the show, I was told, don't worry about it. So then I didn't worry about it, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin was heckling me. And I said, "Who the fuck are you?" And he said, "I'm the CEO of this company. I'm the one that's hired you to come do the comedy." And I was like, "Well, what do you want me to talk about, sir?" And he's like, "Politics." And I said, "Fuck politics." And then he came up and gave me the hook and pulled me off the stage. That was the only time anyone's ever pulled the hook, like actually physically pulled me off stage.
While hugging, it was a hug pull.
It was a hug
He-
pull.
he
Like,
said
put
hook.
his,
Oh, I
The
thought
hook.
you said he gave you a hug.
no, he put his arm around my neck.
Oh, it was a hug. Never mind.
Like a
I
hug
misunderstood. I'm
Hug
sorry.
pull.
I'm
It's
the
a thing.
asshole.
What a dick.
Yeah, and I went to the bathroom
I lost my
afterwards,
dog.
and the employees were like, "Sorry, dude, that guy, he's our boss, and he sucks, but we were loving your shit, you know." It's like, fuck.
Can I just say, can we just take I was heckled by Stone Cold Steve Austin out of context and replay that sound clip forever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Followed by, give me a hell yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool if real life it was Stone Cold, but yeah, fuck it. Anyway, it looks like our signal has become interrupted again, unfortunately.
Hashtag me Jew.
Hashtag me Jew.
But I don't know if that's what that means or not, but yeah.
Jews get together and we fucking come.
I don't blame you for silencing me repeatedly while I was trying to say that.
I'm going to give this one. I'm going to see if I can get caught up on this video and see if it's still showing. No, it's doing the swirly thing. Might have a hit. Well, here, Allison, hold on a sec. Let's just wrap it up because I still got this recording. So even though the live stream went down, let's wrap this up real quick. Last topic. I personally lately have been thinking about life, and I can't stop thinking about how much of a trip it is to be human. I can't stop thinking about it. It's a fucking trip, bro. Like, aside from like not knowing why we all exist and what the fuck we're doing here and all the bullshit and steps backward we're making as a civilization, just to be like born during this time. The thing I realized about life is that everybody that's alive with you, that's all the same thing, the one thing you have in common.
We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die, but right now we're all here together fighting the same fight. But it doesn't seem like it, right? It doesn't seem like we're all here together fighting the same fight, but that's really what's going on. And being human is a fucking trip because it goes by where you were born, too. Like some people were born in America, some people were born in another country where it's like completely different. So it's like a lotto.
I just learned that Joe doesn't know any other country's name.
I was gonna say Uganda. But I was like, no, that's not.
Like
Canada.
I was born here or
you could have been
somewhere
born
else.
in Canada.
I
Imagine
don't know what you're
that.
talking about.
Anyway, Owen, what do you have to say about life?
And that's about it.
Are
That
you,
sums
are
it
you
up.
enjo- are you enjoying being a human?
I've been human. That's about. No.
No.
Who would choose this?
Well, if you think about it, being a human, we have like the most complex brains, aside from dolphins.
That is a racist ass thing to say, and I mean that in the most literal term.
We have the ability
There's
to.
literally other races.
We're very self-aware. And I think being self-aware is sometimes a burden.
Yeah. No, to answer the question, I think, I would probably want to be one of the great apes. And yeah, sure, we're probably the greatest ape ever. So I guess I'd go with human. But am I having a good time? I don't know. Ask me when I'm dead.
I think the ability to love as a human being and to feel true love, I can't imagine another form of life being able to have that.
Pigs have 9-hour orgasms.
Okay,
I want to be a pig. I want to be a pig.
So we want to be a pig.
What did you break on your car during that?
I would say suspension, but I think that's like one of the only things I haven't broken yet.
You've broken my suspension of disbelief.
Brandon,
Hashtag me Jew.
Brandon, do you enjoy being human?
Well, I mean, sometimes I kind of wish I was a cat, you know, you just kind of just lay around all day, not do shit. People pet you, and you just eat.
You just need a cat onesie.
Or like a dog, you know, so that way you can just like fuck everything and, you know,
Fuck
not
shit.
have to deal with it for shit.
Yeah.
So you want to be a furry?
Yeah.
No,
Perfect.
but I know some people that are.
What's up?
Also, between the two, I would choose cat. They can bite people with like no consequences. Dogs get put down.
Or like an alien or some shit, you know? I don't know.
Okay,
I had the answer to
Allison.
this one. I forgot it though.
Allison, tell us your experience as a human being. Has it been good? Have you been loving it? Is it a complicated relationship?
I think it's too complicated to call it good or bad.
Okay.
I think that tragedy and trauma are horrible, and they also grow us as humans, which is fucked up to think that you can only experience like true joy and understanding after experiencing really fucked up trauma. And I'm getting a little deep, but
No, that's good.
I think that the fact that we're all gonna die, I think about this all the time, but the fact that we're all gonna die is lost a little bit on humanity right now, because I feel like if we lived that way, we would live a lot more kind and a lot more real, and a lot more fulfilled lives.
Like,
and sadly,
change our mindset more towards like,
Yeah.
you could die at any time.
at any
Enjoy
fucking
it while
time,
you can.
and we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna be here one day.
But I know what you're saying about how fucked up it is that to appreciate true happiness and joy, you have to experience the depths of hell, so to speak. But I find that very intriguing because that to me means balance, and that perspective is necessary, and that balance is necessary. Someone told me once in life that really resided in me when it came to that. They said, imagine this, Joe. If everybody loved you, how would you know you're loved? You know? And I really thought about it, and I was like, it's so true. You have to like really feel alone and not loved to truly appreciate what it means to be loved.
I mean, it literally has to be a dichotomy. There's no concept of love without a concept of hate.
Yeah, exactly.
But what a fucked up existence.
But that's because it comes down to balance, really.
I want to be a pig.
If you think about it, the Earth spinning around the fucking sun in the galaxy spinning around some other shit, all that balance that occurs in the universe is trickled down to our own existence. And we need that balance. We have to have that balance to give us that perspective in life. Billy, tell us about your life. Have you been having a good time, enjoying it?
Well, you know, anytime somebody asks me how my day is going, I always say the same thing. You know, any day above ground's a good one. That being said, I think life would be a lot cooler if we all had superpowers.
Hell
For sure.
Yes.
But then we'd all be fighting over superpowers, who gets what, and how much it costs, and all this bullshit.
How much it costs?
Exactly.
Wait, how much would you charge for a superpower, Joe?
It depends
Invisibility, how much?
Probably $1,000.
Flight.
No way, dude. Visibility
Like an hour?
is
$1,000 an hour?
Like $10
No, one-time fee, one-time setup fee.
I'll give you my paycheck next week if that's the case.
I want it
Fuck.
to be like the Matrix, where you just plug that shit in.
You don't know that. I make more than you do.
But
I think I make more than everyone at this table.
just like free Medicare for all, there should be free superpowers for all. Now that you think about it, yeah.
Can we just share me and Owen's Jew moment really quick?
Yeah, do it.
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag me too, because
You got another one?
just no, really quick, because someone said, "How much would you charge for invisibility?" And someone said $1,000, and I go, "Oh, an hour?" And he was like, "Boom!" And I was like, "That was the Jewiest thing I've ever said."
$1,000 an hour. Hashtag me Jew.
That's why they literally had to call it the Holocaust.
Boom.
It's about the expense.
Mic drop.
Yeah, there was a cost.
By the way, Germany lost its whole film industry. I'm just saying.
James Roberts, if you had to give your life a rating of a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most awesome life you feel like you could have, what do you give your life right now?
Probably a 5, like really neutral about it.
Yeah, a real neutral, middle of the road kind of guy. You look like the part.
I'm alive.
Yeah, I'm here.
I haven't thought about it.
I'm present. You haven't thought about it. So do you not think much about your existence?
No, not really.
No. What do you think about porn?
I don't even think.
What's
He's wearing a red plaid shirt. He didn't think much about his purchases.
yeah,
Clearly.
Whoa. I thought long and hard about this purchase. Actually.
No.
he was really torn on this. He was torn.
Pretty badass
I
flannel.
was very
I'm just-
specific with this flannel. It fits my persona on stage very well.
I like it better than the Batman shirt.
Yeah.
Just saying.
He's going
Nobody
for that-
cares, but I'm just saying.
I will say you look less fuckable now, though.
He's going for that lumberjack
Say
look.
that to where I'm from.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say way more fuckable, but that's just.
We have different
apparently
tastes.
my kink.
Yeah, law of attraction.
Owen likes to fuck lumberjack looking guys? Okay then.
Yeah, this is Owen.
No, Brendan.
And knowing
Question
is
for
half the
Billy?
battle.
Yeah,
I
I look
like
like I like to
dainty.
drink and fight bears. That's what I look like.
I'm gonna party with that guy.
You look like the discount brawny man.
Yeah, the Winco version of Brawny Man.
The brownie man.
I look
Yeah,
like
the
I
brownie
lost,
man.
I look like I lost my virginity in a cornfield.
You look like if you sold toilet paper rolls, they'd be the kind that make your ass bleed.
Made of sandpaper.
I can't steal toilet paper right now. It's gone.
I know. I'm saying if you were a
Also,
door.
I'm sorry. I'm ignorant. Real quick. What is this whole toilet paper worry? What's going on?
I don't even get it.
I don't know.
All right. So
Owen doesn't use
basically,
toilet paper, by the
what
way.
happens?
I don't. I use napkins. But go on.
What happens is that when you get the coronavirus, if you buy all the toilet paper, it makes you immune to the coronavirus. I'm just kidding. No, the real explanation is this. I thought that would be a funnier joke. It wasn't.
I like using cocaine and bleach better.
Here's the thing. Okay, so in China, when the coronavirus started spreading, everything got locked down. All the stores closed down. So people are stuck, everyone got quarantined, so people are stuck in their homes and they're pooping and they have nothing to wipe their asses with. So everyone in America learned from China, like, we need to stock up on toilet paper in case our stores close and we have to wipe our butts.
If you're trapped at
Wow.
home, just take a fucking shower.
Exactly.
It's an excellent point.
Give yourself a bird bath,
Get a bidet.
you
as
know.
Jen would say.
Use the cat.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's fine. It's fine, guys. I'll
Any-
do this. I'll do this for the rest of you. I'll be the worst person on the podcast. They can't take a shower. It's China.
Ooh. You can use any sink as a bidet. I learned that.
That
Yeah.
was disgusting.
I know, right?
That
Doesn't
is
sound
disgusting.
sanitary, does it? No.
This is why I've never washed my hands in this man's house.
I
This
thought
is
you were going
why-
to say this is why I've never washed my anus.
This is why America's way more at risk than any other country. We're dirty motherfuckers.
We both had terrible corona-related jokes, so we're good.
Also, Owen, I heard that wiping your ass with a napkin can give you hemorrhoids. No? You
Nah,
have
man, I got herroids.
Nice. All right, well, I think we're
That
going to
was a rat
wrap it
joke.
up. Go ahead.
Yeah, he does. He goes, I have so many hemorrhoids. They're his and her. I can't decide. His and his.
There he is. Oh,
Nice.
sorry, Rod. Love
Good.
you. I've never heard
Just,
that
I
yet.
just want to appreciate. It's all good.
That's really good. That's really good. His and her roids? Are you fucking kidding me?
Is Rod online right
Have
now?
we said
He
goodbye
better.
yet?
Our live stream broke again. I think it was all the dick talk again. I don't know.
God damn
But,
it.
yeah. All
Who
right.
doesn't
Well,
like a good dick talk?
I know.
Why is it always your mouth and dick?
I know that you guys were
Are
just
you
trying to
sick
make
to
Brendan
sad that's
feel
not your
comfortable
mouth
by
and
having
dick?
two shafts next to his face. So that's good. Yeah.
Wait, can everyone shut up for a second so he can repeat that? Because that was awesome.
I said, Billy, are you sad that it's not your mouth and dick?
Oh, it's a good thing you can't get demonetized from Facebook.
That's right. Bullshit. I'll be in jail after this one. Facebook jail after this. All right, everybody. Good night.
Night night.
Let's go watch that movie at Sea Film.
That's right, we're doing a thing.
What movie? I got no money.
I've literally already forgot. Oh, onward. Onward.
That was fun.
I got no money.
Yeah, no money is still less than 6. Fun fact I learned.
I can cover you. Just guys shut up.
So what you're saying is I'm not.
We'll see how many people are there.